Solving Equations, Lessons 8 through 11, Worksheet number 1. For questions 9 through 14, we're to solve each equation for slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Why do we solve for y? We want equations in slope-intercept form when we want to graph. So in other words, 9 through 14 is the first step for solving systems of equations using graphing. Now, we did a bell work together that I walked you, there were 8 problems, and I walked you through all 8 problems, and that bell work was bell work 9A. I'm going to do questions 11 and 12 with you. For the rest of them, if you get stumped, my suggestion would be to go back and watch the videos for bell work 9A, or you could look in your binders for the actual bell work we did together, but they would help you walk you through 9 through 14. So I'm going to start with number 11. I want to solve for y. I want to isolate the y. So how would I get the y here by itself? Well, 3y means 3 times y. That's multiplication. So the inverse operation here would be to divide. And what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side of the equation. So we're actually going to divide every single term by 3. When you're doing this, make sure you're using the fraction button on your calculator. If you're using one like the schools, it's the N over D button. If you're using the calculator on the iPad, it's the one that has like the box, a line, and then another box like that. So make sure you use the fraction button because we don't want any decimals here. Well, if you would put in 1 over 3 in your calculator, it's going to stay 1/3. So we have y equals 1/3 x, and then negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. So for number 11, this equation in slope-intercept form is y equals 1/3 x minus 1. Question 10 is very similar to question 11. Hint, hint. All right, question 12. 12 and 14 are the only 2-step problems on 9 through 14. So question 12 and 14 are both 2-step equations. So I'm going to box my variable term. So I'm going to box the variable term that I'm solving for, that is. I want to solve for y, so I'm going to box 3y. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for 14. I'm going to go ahead and box the negative 2y. I want to eventually isolate the y. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of this 2x. Well, it's a positive 2x, so the inverse would be to make it negative 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Cancel out the x terms on the left. Bring down the 3y. Try to keep your equal signs lined up. Now, these are not like terms. They're not like terms. This is a variable. This is a constant term. Therefore, I cannot combine them. I simply bring down the variable term first and then the constant term last. All right. The last step here is very similar to the problem that we did over here. All right. I need to isolate the y. This right here is multiplication. So the inverse to multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide every term by 3. And again, you want to use the fraction button to do this. So my 3's will cancel. If you put negative 2 over 3 into your calculator, it's going to stay negative 2/3. So it's going to be negative 2/3 x, and negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. Okay. Now, like I said, 14 is just like number 12. It's a 2-step problem. Questions 9 and 13 are similar, and 10 and 11 are similar. So again, 9 and 13 are similar. These two here are similar, and those two there are similar, and those two there are similar. So again, if you need help, you could look at Bell Work 9A, watch the videos, or look at your filled-in version. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.